Hi guys, Pete here from Ashton's Cars. Today we're looking around a 2012 Range Rover Sport. This is the TDV6 model, it's the 3 litre HSE, and it's the last revision of this first generation of Range Rover Sport. And you might say the best revision that they did. It really, I think these later versions of this shape really are a class act, and it's also got the 3 litre TDV6, which is a big improvement over the earlier 2.7, so just an altogether nicer car. This particular car's come into me as a part exchange. It's done 148,000 miles, so it's been very much enjoyed by the previous owner, but it is a very clean and smart looking example, finished in metallic grey. And as you see, as we just sort of come around the side of her, it's been well looked after, this car. It's got a nice set of I think 20-inch alloy wheels on it, this one. I'll double check that in a second for you. It's got the electric tailgate as well, which I'll show you in just a minute. Very, very clean looking, well looked after example. Nice thing about this particular car, I think, is that it is a nice metallic grey colour. I do think that looks quite classy on a Sport. I like the wheels that this particular model's got. It's got the side steps as well, but it's not been butchered. It doesn't look like it's been your local drug dealer's car, and that's what you've got to be careful of with Sports. Look out for ones that are all bling bling and no substance. Get a nice, well-maintained model like this in a classy metallic, and you've got yourself a very good looking car there. Now I'm going to be doing a few videos of this car, because I'm also going to do a video of it alongside the Vogue and show you a few of the differences between the two models, between this L320 Sport model and the L322, which is the Vogue of the same era. They're very, very different cars, but both of them do have the benefit of that lofty driving position, and of course, being a Range Rover, it's got a very great, very good image of prestige, which you just do not get in any other car. So, show you a little bit more inside this car now as we go. Let's have a quick gander. I'll just double check those wheel sizes for you, because that is quite important. This one, by the way, has got some curbing marks on it, as you can see, and it is a 20-inch alloys. The others are in very good condition, but they have got a couple of small grazes here and there. I've just noticed my wonderful valet has managed to, that's better, just reattach a little bit of the trim there. We'll have to just re-secure that for whoever's buying the car. This looks nice with the piano black inserts in these vents. I think that is factory on this one, and we have got these which are not factory, but I think still do look quite cool on the sides here. So that looks good. It's got the standard factory tint to it. Beware of ones that have been tinted to 0, because obviously you will end up with the police pulling you for that. A nice feature on these later Sports, and to give you an idea, if it's one of the last ones, it's got this strip runs the whole width of it. That's the ones that I personally recommend. They've got a better tailgate design as well than the earlier model, and this one has got an electric tailgate. Look at that, pretty cool, eh? Little box in the back there is actually a replacement TV screen, because this car's got a TV screen that sits in the middle there, and I'm told it's not working, so there's a replacement for it in there, so I'm going to have that fitted for the new owner. We have got the heavy duty mats here, which obviously are very hard wearing and ensure that your boot floor stays nice and clean like that. It's a huge boot, it's a huge car, so obviously goes without saying, someone has caught it by the looks a little bit by here, unloading something. A little bit of a touch-in's been done at some point in its life, but apart from that, it is all very clean, and it doesn't look like it's had any serious sort of use. Let's pop that down. Quite like that electric tailgate. Even my Vogue has not got that, so that's quite a cool little feature that I've got on this Sport model. Oh, what other cool feature that I've got that I haven't got on the Vogue is it has got a keyless entry as well as keyless go, which is quite cool. So it should be open now, I think. That's better. So let's just show you into the back. It is a little bit smaller than the Vogue, and the seats on it are a bit more sculpted, so it has, I suppose, to go with the sporty image of the Sport, it does sort of hold you in place, this car. But still plenty of room in here, certainly for 4 adults. This centre seat, it's not that generous. I mean, you will get a child in there without any real problems, but it's not as big as the one you get in a Vogue. You have got heated rear seats as well in this car, and to the rear here we have got separate air conditioning outlets, so we get plenty of ventilation to the rear. So, as I did say earlier, we have got this TV screen as well. That's not a standard fitment, but it's got a USB input and a DVD, so you can watch your movies in the back of the car. And I've got a brand new one in the boot. I'm going to be getting that fitted for the new owner. I do like as well the trim in this particular car. I like the white stitching on this leather. It is beautifully finished, this particular car is. Really good colour combination with the metallic grey outside and this black leather with the white stitching. I think it's probably one of the classier combinations you can get on a Sport. Oh, and of course I have got the proper Land Rover heavy duty mats, and they're worth their weight in gold because they really do capture all the dirt and save your carpets from looking wrecked. Let's move to the front. So it's a great cockpit. We've got the side steps to help us get into it. We've got adjustable armrests, and I'll show you a few of the features on this newer shape Sport that are not on the earlier model, which I really love. So I'm going to just jump in behind the wheel. It is a little bit lower to get into than my Vogue, but like the Vogue, it can be put in a access mode so it can kneel. At the moment, the car is in its standard suspension setting, and you have got 3 options of having an off-road mode, standard, or the lowered access mode. It generally, though, will only be driven in the normal mode unless you're doing some serious off-roading. And in access mode, it quickly reverts back to normal height as soon as you go over, I think, 5 miles an hour. But it does help elderly relatives get in the back. So, inside, different layout on the dashboard totally to the Vogue, first off, and we will do some comparisons in a later video. I love the later models of these. The stitching here looks great. It's quite modern looking, it's quite cool looking. It's got the 8-speed transmission, this one has, so you haven't got a shifter, you've actually got a little dial for the gears, and it has got the paddle shift on the wheel, command shift as Range Rover like to call it. Let's start it up and just give you a taster of it. So, there we go. Let me very quickly put this onto radio, otherwise it's going to right. Okay, I wasn't quite quick enough then. The car connected to my Bluetooth, started playing my music through the stereo, which a feature that I really love in these cars. But obviously it's not ideal for when you're trying to record a video on your mobile phone, so I've just quickly reverted back to the standard radio which it's got. So as I just demonstrated quite clumsily, the car has got Bluetooth audio streaming. That's not where the toys end though, because this car's got everything. The seats are fully electric, they've got memory settings, they are heated both up front and in the rear, as I showed you earlier. We've got dual climate control, we've got a heated front screen, you name it, we've probably got it. We have got Land Rover's full command shift here, as well as the pre-programmed dynamic settings for various terrains. Just put it on the gravel one there, but I don't want it on that, I just want it on road. Dynamic, which is that one with the sort of motorway looking thing on it, that's the sports mode for it. That's your standard driving mode there. So it's the special programs settings that you have. Even on the Vogue, you haven't got that dynamic mode, I don't think. So the Sport's got one extra thing on those driving settings that you don't get on the Vogue. Coming forward to here, we've got cruise control, we've got Bluetooth telephone, 8-speed transmission, as I said. My Vogue's a 6-speed. So obviously this is an 8. It has got a smaller engine though, it's a 3-litre V6 in this car. Still twin turbo though, and still delivers a hefty punch. I think about 260 horsepower off the top of my head. So plenty of power in it, and with 8-speed transmission, you're always in the right gear, so it really does shift. Much more than you would expect a car that weighs almost 2.5 tons to shift. It's relatively good on fuel, this. It does about 30 miles per gallon. That's not bad really for a car this size. And just to show you what we've got on this big touchscreen in the middle here, we've got, well, what haven't we got? We've got navigation for a start. It's all fully touchscreen, the car is. I've got to agree to some T's and C's before we access it. But we've got a full touchscreen nav, we've got Bluetooth audio, and best of all, we have got a reversing camera, which is fantastic. And it's a really good reversing camera, very good resolution on it. That works alongside the parking sensors, which are fitted both front and rear to this car. So despite its huge girth and size, it is actually a fairly easy car to drive. And as you can see, I've got great visibility out the front there, and even towards the rear there. That is the very back of the car, you can see, so you haven't got any blind spots essentially in it. Nice big door mirrors as well. That obviously is a massive help when you are overtaking. I love these cars to drive. It's not as big as a Vogue, but that can be good or bad depending on your own persuasion. I do like a Vogue. I'm used to having that car, but a lot of people who I take out in it do find it a bit too big when they have a go at driving it. The Sports, they always seem more comfortable in driving. So if you come in from a smaller car, you might prefer the Sport just for the fact that it does feel a little less unwieldy when you're driving it first. But they're both really good cars. This one, for a car that's done 148,000 miles, is in absolutely impeccable condition, apart from the little greys on one of the alloys that I showed you, and a tiny bit of wear on the start stop button. I cannot find a single thing on this car really that is less than perfect. So that really is quite a good thing. You know, you wouldn't believe really that a car this 11 years old, 148,000 miles, that's this size, would wear quite so well. So there you go. All those people that slate Land Rovers, read it and weep, guys, because they do build some pretty good cars. And I won't lecture too much about that, because one of my pet hates is people moaning about, oh, well, yeah, until it breaks down. Well, I've run these for years, and to be honest with you, I've never really had any massive problems with them. You can have a bad car, you know, any type of car can be bad, but the main thing with Land Rovers is to keep them maintained. And if you've got one of these and you're going to maintain it properly, you're going to keep it serviced, just don't let any big bills build up on it. And if you do that, you're going to have a fantastic car. So there you have it, guys, and I am going to do, as I say, another video showing you some of the differences between this model and the slightly larger Vogue, which I run myself. But I think you've got to agree, as a 2012 148,000 mile car, this is a very, very clean example. So if you're looking for one of these, give us a call. My number's 07932 873 646, and this car is going to be prepped and available for delivery anywhere in the UK. Happy to take your old car in part exchange as well. Just give us a call, let us know what you've got, and we'll be happy to work at a price for you. So that number one more time, 07932 873 646. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Please feel free to get in touch if you've got any queries on this car, any queries in general. We'll be happy to help. In the meantime, guys, please give us a like, please give us a share, please subscribe to our channel for more car buying advice, more cars like this that we have got available for sale, and hope to see you very soon. Goodbye for now, thanks.